Okay, quick update. Well, there's no saying that projects like these leave a ginormous mess. That's okay, it'll be short-lived. So I have got quite a lot done. I've gotten 3 albums filled, all the old albums, emptied, and piles that mostly make sense. So right now I have her. She was born in 2004, and I'm done through 2006. So it took 2 full albums to do 2004, just because it was my first baby, and I did a ton of layouts about her first year. And then 2005, 2006 fit into one year. And then these piles are 2007, 2008, 2009. And there's more 2009 over here. But then these layouts here and these 3 albums here are 2009 and 10 through 2000 through now. And then I do have still the craft, or her preschool craft stuff over there waiting to be figured out, what to be done with. Those are going to be mostly in these 2 years here. Those are the years she was in preschool. And so I just need to figure out how I want to incorporate that stuff in there, because it's going to end up probably being, like 4 albums just for those 2 years. But I'm okay with that. Now, some of those crafty items are holiday themed. And so what I'll probably do is pull those out and put them into the appropriate holiday there. So that's kind of my project today, is to play with that a little bit. So I'm going to show you how the albums are turning out. Nothing special, but I just wanted to show you kind of what I had done. This is my very first album I ever fully made of, not fully made, but like once within kind of the newer scrapbooking style. And I had gone back and done, they're all definitely older style layouts. But I have, gone back and done current, or I've gone back and redone some of the photos with more individual stories. So you can tell like this is more current product, but I just slipped that in the place where it fit into her overall story. So not really caring about when I actually scrapbooked it, but just having it in the right chronological order so that she can have this double page spread that I made back in 2005 probably. But I have this layout that I made probably last year in the midst of it, because it's about that time in her life. And so that's kind of was my main goal in getting this done, was I could get all that combined together so I don't have all these random stories everywhere. And they're all together. So that is that. And I did end up, sorry guys, I know you're not seeing a whole bunch here. The glitter album, I decided not to do school. I'm going to just go include their school layouts in with the rest of their layouts, because I feel like that's a good way to show like passage of time. So as you're looking through her album, you say, oh, okay, here she's entering 4th grade, and here's what she was like in 4th grade and what she was involved in. And so I like that concept. So what I decided to do, and it kind of made more sense when I looked and like, oh wait, they're glitter albums and they're both in dance. So because they each have their own individual dance projects, I think I've done a video in the past. I am doing the Heidi Swap, I'm not for sure what it's technically called, where she did like the file folder album system and put them in a little case. I'm doing those for each year of dance, and they're both, the girls are together in those. So one folder will be 1 year. I'm decorating the inside with both of their photos. So they're each going to have that dedicated to their dance careers. But I also do full layouts too, because there's other stories I want to tell. I don't really journal a whole lot in those projects. They're more just like, here's their group pictures, or their pictures of their professional pictures, their dance pictures from the actual recital. And then, but I like to tell individual stories about them and their dance experience. And so I went ahead and thought, well, these are glitter albums and they each have one, so these will be their individual dance albums, which makes a lot more sense to me. And so I just went ahead and got them chronological. And so this will be not just the recitals, but when we have observation and can watch them practice, just pictures I've taken over the years of them in their dance. So, sorry, there's a glare here. I'm right underneath the light. And so that's kind of a fun progression to see. Now, as you can see, I have some empty spots here. And for instance, this is one I had done. I had done a pocket page. So this is empty here, and this is empty because a lot of my dance layouts tend to be 2-pagers because I take lots of photos. And so this is going to help me say, okay, I need to go to, this was in, what year was this? It's 2010. So either, was this in 2010 as well? This is 2010. So I needed just to find maybe one more layout to do from 2010, maybe with some individual photos that can go to the left of it to fill this spot in. So this is going to help me just to say, okay, because I have like 5 million photos. It's not going to be hard to find photos from that year. And so it'll be just easier to do that. Now I could put, I don't like this layout. I'm going to actually redo this layout. Hold on. I'm going to pause you. Sorry, you know how you have those layouts that you're just like, I've never looked at it once and thought, oh, I like it better than when I just did it. I still don't like it. And so those go out. So then here is 2011. So I could either make these, this, 2011 or 2010. But it just helps you kind of see, okay, where do I have spots that I need to fill? And then also, I could also do like, just put in a cute piece of paper too. It's not that big of a deal. Or if I have duplicates of their programs, I put the programs in the other project, but a lot of times I have duplicates. I could put the programs in here too. That way there's a program in each location. That's not, I can figure that all out later, but this at least gets things, in a place where they're easy to find. And I love this paper. This is Dear Lizzie, I think. It's one of my favorite papers. And so I just need to work on this today. It's my goal. And then, as you can see, I've pulled a few layouts over here that just need to go in different albums. And I have a little pile there of layouts I just don't like anymore and want to be done with. Either whether I redo them or whatever. Some of them are duplicates. I had done the same photo twice on accident, which happens. And then this, and I have a feeling I'm going to need to probably track down, depending on what I do with the artwork albums. I may have to, well, we'll see, because I still have those 2 over there. And then, but I may need to buy another album or 2 before I can completely finish her, but we'll get as much done as possible. So I'll be back, I'll check in, and then I think after this, I'll probably move on to like a smaller project. So probably, maybe my side of the family or something like that. We'll figure it out. But I may wait to do my other daughter until I've done some smaller projects first, because this was a pretty big undertaking, but I'm really going to be happy when it's done. So I'll be back when I am further along. Hey guys, checking in. As you can see, those are getting full with all pink albums. There are more down here that are full. I have, let's see, we're at 2013. So I have 2013 through 2017 to do, which is not going to take me a lot of time at all, which is awesome. I wanted to show you what I ended up doing. I'm not quite completely done yet. I still have this pile here. But what I ended up doing was I took the 2 main years. She was actually in preschool for like, I don't know, 2.5 years. But for the years that, like, I split up 2007 into 2 albums here. And I kept them light because I knew that I would be adding in all her arts and crafts. So what I'm doing is I'm just in the back of those albums, and then some in the 2008 album. I'm just putting stuff in there. So like these that are already 12 by 12, I just put in by themselves. And then I have these envelopes. I'd forgotten about these from Becky Higgins, and I might have to get some more of them. But I'm just going to fill these up with all the things from those preschool years and put them in the backs of all of these albums, trying to guesstimate which ones were her first year, which ones are her second year. I'm not going to get it all. So it's probably just going to be open the envelope and it just whatever is in there, but it's all, at least all of her preschool stuff will be in her preschool years as far as her albums are concerned. And there are a few spots that I actually like interspersed some things. So for instance, here I had her layout about her preschool graduation, and so I went ahead and put in her diploma there. So I'm trying to, if I have a layout in regards to a specific item, I'm just throwing it in there with the item. For instance, her first day of preschool this particular year, and there was a little name tag that they made her there, and it's so cute. I just love that picture of her. So I'm just trying to intersperse things as they make sense in the album, and if they don't make sense in the album or go with the layout, or will maybe go with the layout someday but they don't now, I'm just going to put them in these envelopes so I know all of her preschool goodies are in those. So that is how I decided to handle those. I just need to finish up the last pile over here and just put them in envelopes. I only have 3 left, so I'm going to fill those up, then I might have to order some more. And then, like I said, there's a pile there that is holiday themed, and I'm going to just try to put those in with the holiday scrapbooks. A pile over there is what I decided to trash. And then over here I have, these are actually layouts, that she's made, and so I want to get them somewhere in an album, so I may just have to find an album that isn't quite as full and maybe throw them in an envelope as well, or put them all in together in one page protector or something. That's always an option as well. So again, these are what the folders look like, empty. They're just Becky Higgins. I think they're with Project Life. I need to get some more for sure, because I think those are going to become very handy, because when I do Mallory's, I'm going to need them. So I'm going to try to get those ordered. But so that's how I'm going. I think I can get 2013 and 14 in one album. I think I can get 15 and 16 in one album, and then I'll just start a new one for 2017, which means I have 2 albums left, so I'll have my 2017 is not going to be able to be put away today because I only have 2 albums left. But that's okay. That's still pretty darn good, being that I got rid of a whole bunch of albums. And I'm trying to think if there's anything else I want to mention that my back hurts. This is definitely a project you gotta do little by little. And I despise brads, because taking layouts in and out of protectors with the brads, so frustrating. So I'm so glad that most companies do the flat backed now, because that's so much easier to not have all kinds of stuff on the back of your layout that you're trying to not get caught on the thing. But, those are just, first world problems, right? Like, it's not a big deal. I'm just happy to have this done. I'm sorry you're looking at my layouts upside down right now, but that's just where I'm sitting. But I'm excited with how it's the end goal is what I wanted it to be. Like, I feel like all of her stuff now is together. I do have one more drawer of her things that came after preschool here. So like mostly like her elementary school stuff, and I'm sure that there's some somewhere else. Like, there's no way this is all of it. But, anytime she's in the newspaper, report cards, things like that I've thrown in here. So once I have everything in their albums, then I'm going to tackle this pile and to start sticking things in page protectors. I may need to stock up on some more of the 8.5 by 11 or 8 by 10 page protectors. But just start plugging these in, because now I can do that, because it's going to be super easy to find, chronologically where these go. So I'm excited about that. I have a drawer also for Mallory. Hers is fuller because I haven't done anything with any of hers from preschool on. She wasn't in preschool quite as long as Keaton was, I don't think. I think Keaton had an extra semester of it. So, but I still have quite a bit of stuff for her. But like I said, I'm going to probably do a smaller project before I move on to daughter number 2, because they're just my main focus when I scrapbook, and obviously they have the most layouts, but I think I'll do some of the smaller projects first. So I will just finish this up, and then I will probably just touch base again. I don't know how much more you guys need to know about my process. I don't think it's probably gonna be any different depending on, with any of the other albums. Someone did ask if I was inspired by Stacey Julian's Library of Memories, and absolutely I was. I don't think I've ever completely done it like she did. Because I think she does people, and then each child I think has a tab, and then she eventually gives them their own album. But I just started off because I knew they were each gonna have multiple albums, and so I think categorized mine a little bit differently, and I don't have a places we go necessarily. Any time that we go somewhere or do something as a family that doesn't have its own album, like a big vacation, for instance, like it's a weekend away or a day away, I just put those in these. So I call those my together time albums. So anytime there's a layout about us spending time together, whether it's me and one of my daughters, or all four of us together, or my husband and the girls, or whatever, if it includes time that we're spending together as a family, then it goes in there. So that's probably my most common layout that I make, honestly, is those type of albums. And then if it's a layout specifically about, each daughter, then it goes into their album. So, if one of them made the spelling bee, or one of them, it's her birthday or whatnot, even though a birthday is a family celebration, I still put it in her album because it's for her. But yeah, so that's how it's just how my mind works. I think that's how it was easiest for me to do it that way. But definitely she was inspiration, and it's such a great system and concept. And I love, having them organized by color and how colorful they are. Like I said, I'm not real crazy picky about the colors. Any shade of pink is going to be fine. Any shade of blue is fine. I like fun albums, and so it bores me to have every album exactly the same. So I like having a chevron here and there, different things like that. So I don't get too crazy about that. But as long as it's in the color family, I'm good, because I'm going to know. Another thing that I do, and I think I've mentioned this before, like I told you, I have specific albums for specific holidays as well. And the reason I do that is, because I don't make a ton of Valentine's layouts or a ton of 4th of July layouts, but I like to pull those out during the holiday, that they become part of my home decor. And so when Valentine's Day, when I'm decorated for Valentine's Day, I pull those albums out and I put them in a prominent place in our living room, so that we can go back and look at all of our past, the past Valentine's layouts that I've made. So I really like the idea of putting the girls' artwork in there, because then we can also look at not just the layouts I've made about our memories, but about past craft projects the girls have made in school in regards to those holidays. So that's going to be a lot of fun. I'm excited for that. So anyway, my room's a mess. My whole basement's a mess, but it's going to be so worth it. I'm excited to have this done, and I will just check in, I guess, when I'm done, and maybe when I'm complete with this part of the project, and then we'll see if I need to do any more video beyond that, or this might just be it. I'm not for sure what. Maybe I'll wait and then just when everything's done, I'll do a final wrap-up video of how the shelves look with all the albums in their current color, or in the correct color schemes that I have planned to organize them all in. So I will quit blabbering, and I'm going to continue to get to work, and we'll be back soon. Okay guys, it's a few days later and just checking in. I got a few more things done. Just wanted to give you a quick update. So I decided to go and work on Mallory's, and she had less postbound albums than Keaton did, just because she's 3 years younger. So hers is pretty easy. I did a couple things I made it to Hobby Lobby, and I got more of each of the albums I needed more of, and I did find some navy blue ones there. So I'm going to switch out my 4th of July and patriotic pages to be navy blue, and then just the red ones will go into my Christmas area. I also had 2 of these. One of them was full I'd used for a vacation, and I went ahead and I just did some swappage. So since I decided that I wanted to keep all the aqua blues for Mallory, I had emptied out one of, let me see if I can find it here. I think this one here, because that had been my mom's side of the family. And so I decided that those were all going to be the brown ones. And so I moved that vacation to this one here. So it left that one now to go to the aqua section, just to make it make more sense in my head. I did decide that these cute albums that I've been getting meshed really nicely with these here. And so I'm just going to make my albums, like my personal albums, just these fun, cute colors. And it's going to be a mix. So mine are going to be the only ones that aren't like one consistent color. But I am going to keep using these for my youth. Like this one's my college, and then these are just general layouts about me. But if you look at it together, like take this out of the picture, they just mesh really nicely together. So I'm good with that. That may change in the future, but for now I'm happy being able to use these cute albums and having all my layouts be there. And so I decided the brown ones, and I did not put mine in chronological order. Like this one already is just a themed album, and as well as these I would probably at some point want to put in chronological order just because they're based on my youth, and someday I'll maybe do these, but that just wasn't a big priority for me right now. I'm more worried about my kids because they're going to be going through graduation and stuff at some point, that it makes more sense to focus on theirs. Mine, it doesn't matter so much to me now, but that might be a project down the road that I sit down and put all mine in chronological order. But so that emptied out all the brown ones. So the brown ones I decided are going to be my mom's side of the family. Because if you can remember, I had this one here and then that multicolor one. There was kind of a variety of different albums that they were in, and just to consolidate that a little bit. So brown will then now become my mom's side of the family. And then my parents and my dad's side of the family are the gold and the craft. And so decided to stick with that because I think gold, let's see what I do. Let me see. I can remember. I think I did gold as like my parents and like my brother and stuff. And then these, because they have that more of that heritage feel to them, are like my grandparents and my dad's side of the family, I think is how I did that. And then trying to think if I did, yeah, that one's empty. So yep, that's the Gardner side. So, like how that turned out. I got all the pink albums I needed. So here is Keaton's section here. So these are just all chronological from when she was born through here. Some years have 1 year, some albums have 1 year, some albums have 3 years, depending on how many layouts I did. And then I have her dance album there. And then Miss Mallory, I have the first few years of her done, and so then she'll fill in all through here once I get her completed. I did pick up another solid gray, so I think I'm just going to get rid of these post bounds and then transport them in, and then make my 2 solid gray ones my layouts about me and Angie, then the rest will just all be general friends. And then down here is just, again, my random vacation albums and things like that. So, and then I went ahead and moved the layouts of my husband and I over to our together time, just because I like how that meshes with Dan and I, got married, and then that started our family. And so these are all of our family albums. And those I will need to put chronological, and that's going to be a pretty big project. So that will be fun, but I'm focusing on Mallory for now. And so Mallory will have the same. She's going to have her dance album. So I'm pulling out layouts as I find them and putting them there. Then I'll put them chronologically in there. And then just sorting out hers by year. And again, I'm not leaving a ton of room in these. Right now I'm filling them up pretty good. But I foresee in the future when I start going through ephemera that I may have to, I want to kind of keep them divided by year, or, if I don't want to do like half a year in one, half a year in the other. So down the road, I may have to, transfer them all down. If I run out of room, I'll move 1 year out of one into the next and then have to transport them all down. But that's not a big deal because you can just open up the 3 rings, pop them out, put them in a new album, and easy. That's why I wanted to get rid of postbound, because you just can't do that. It's too hard. And so, but I just figured that I would just get these in order now, and I can then they'll be in a place where I can make that change as I need to, as I start going through ephemera, if I even need to. With Mallory's, I for sure probably will, because I still haven't done her preschool stuff. But I can imagine adding in like a program here, a program there, artwork there, note from the teacher, there, that's going to really put some of these over the top. But some of them are pretty full. So here's the ones of hers I still have to go through. This one, and then this one here. And then I think that is kind of just where I'm at right now. I don't have a whole lot more to say. Then it's going great. It's been really fun looking through these older layouts and just reliving some memories. So project Organize Albums and Layouts is still underway, and I'm loving how just streamlined this is going to be. It's just going to be really nice, and I'm excited to have it done. So just wanted to check in and say hey, and I'll probably upload this and then do maybe one final video when I'm done with everything, just to show you how it all turned out. So thank you guys, and have a happy 4th of July. Bye-bye. Hey guys, I lied, not quite done yet. I wanted to do, as I was continuing to work, I decided that I didn't really talk enough about the process I was going through. And so I wanted to really quickly talk about the process and what became the most efficient for me to get this done, because it is a ginormous project. So the key thing is kind of to do it in batches. And so I would suggest first going and just getting all your layouts separated out by year. And so that's what, when I've been showing you these piles, that's what these are, is I have them by the year in which the picture was taken. And this is why it's a good idea to date your layouts for sure, because there's been a few that I didn't, and I've been able to figure it out, but I really appreciated that. That's made this really easy. And so do that part first. So get all your albums empty, get all your layouts into a general pile. And then when I sit down, I can kind of then guesstimate based on the size of the pile. Am I going to fit these all in one album? Can I fit the next 2 years in one album together? You can kind of get that figured out. And so what I do is I just then put it in, it's like this, for instance, is 2013. And so I just put it in the 2013 pile, which is right here. And then I just continue that process. Now, some of them I keep in the protector because that's hopefully will cut my... sorry guys, I'm bumping around here. Hopefully that will cut some of some of them you'll still have to take out because they may be on the wrong side once you've put them in chronological order, but most of the time they're probably going to be okay. So if you can, keep them in their page protector. Obviously with the postbound, because a lot of the postbound ones were 2 holes versus 3, and so I didn't want to go through and punch a hole in every one of them, so I just took the advantage of the 50% off page protectors at Hobby Lobby and got myself a whole bunch of page protectors. They have these box packs of Paper Studio ones. There's 50 in there, and that's $28, but then at 50% off it was $9.99. So that's a pretty good deal. And so I got a couple packs of those. But so anyway, so like this one's 2016, so I'm going to keep it in here and then put it over here, which it's behind me so you can't see. And so then like if both layouts, this one I know is 2016 and this one is 2017, so then I'll take one out and leave one in the page protector. I can't do that with one hand right now. And so then what I do is I just get everything in a pile by year, and then I work with each individual pile. So when I sit down with my album, I put next to me a bunch of empty page protectors, and sit down with 1 year and then get it put in chronological order and then start putting it into the albums. And that has seemed to be the most efficient way to do it. Like even with Mallory's, I went ahead and did her first, I don't know, 2 or 3 years. And before I was done going through all her layouts, because most of them were in 2 or 3 different postponed albums, but I am finding a few more that I scrapbooked later. And so now I'm going to go back, and fit those in, which is totally fine. Like it's not a big deal, but that was just an error on my part because I kind of took a break for a couple of days and came back and then just did that and forgot my process a little bit. So these I'm gonna have to go back to the albums I've already finished and fit these layouts in. So I'm just creating, this is like my pre-2010 pile, which is what I already have done. And then so I just know that these are ones I'm going to have to separate back out, put back into albums I've already done. No big deal. But it just is easier if you do it in a batch type of process. And like I said, if you know, I think I'm going to be a little bit more aware with these piles of leaving a little extra room because I know I'm going to be adding in some ephemera and things like that. So anyway, just wanted to go through that. I think that is just part, finding out what works for you is important in being efficient and because it is very time consuming. And so I just wanted to tell you what worked for me. So with that said, I am going to upload this video, and sorry, it's a lot of blabbering. I'm kind of talking through my process out loud with you guys, just kind of helps me a little bit too. But I am loving going through all these fun layouts. Definitely a good time. I definitely am not getting rid as many of Mallory's, I think, because I had 3 years later in the process that I started with her, and I definitely could tell that I was finding my style more with her. But so it's kind of fun to notice those things about yourself and how you scrapped and things like that. So anyway, I will continue to keep working here, and we will be back when the project is done, or if I think of something else I want to mention about the process. So thank you guys so much. Happy scrapping. Bye-bye.